Our first order of business is approval of the minutes, and when committee members have a moment to review those, I would entertain a motion to approve them.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 1, request to add a historical marker and plaque to the Queen City Pool House. Catherine Edge, come, I think we're asking you to stand at the podium so we can hear you. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I will be brief because I've got a pickup line I've got to be in about 3 minutes. So it's a very simple, straightforward request. First of all, I'm Catherine Edge. I'm the director of the Mildred Westervelt Warner Transportation Museum that is housed in the historic Queen City Bathhouse. And the building itself has been on the National Register of Historic Places since September of 1992. And while there is a marker identifying the importance of Queen City Park, the entire area, there's not a marker specifically for the building. And I would like to put a Alabama Historical Commission approved plaque on the side of the building to acknowledge this this standing.
Any questions?
Who owns it?
You do.
I do.
The city does.
I think it's a great idea to do
Are
that.
we asking, is the price on here, I see $575.
Yes, sir.
Is that's what the amount is?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Because there's already a standing marker, I didn't feel the need to do another one, and
fine.
the plaque is not only the cheapest option, but I didn't want to
okay.
become the picket fence of markers.
I
So
just want to say I'm a fan of your museum.
Yeah.
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
Thank you.
Any questions?
No, sir, Mr. Chair. So moved.
Moved and seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 2.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Catherine. Authorization of a minor public works contract with Triple J Tree Service for tree removal at 12 El Dorado East, total not to exceed $2,200. Selvin, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and your reading of it gave me plenty of time to make it to the podium, so I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
This is a request from operations for a minor public works contract with Triple J to remove what is a dead tree on the right-of-way adjacent to address 12 El Dorado East. Our staff has reviewed this to vet that this is a tree that needs to be removed, and it is that. This contract is not to exceed $2,200. This is for the removal of the tree, taking out the stump, and the remaining cleanup that will be required.
Any questions for Mr.
So
Green?
Selvin, I'm gonna make a motion just second to approve it and get it approved. But do we have a pool of money that we've had a growing number of trees being taken down? Is there an account
So we
for
handled
that? Where does that money come
We
from?
handled this out of our general operations.
General
fund
operations.
that sits in our right-of-way and landscaping division.
Okay.
Yeah, some of these trees y'all take down, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this must be a big one.
This is one that is in close proximity to a power line.
Okay.
So we don't take those down. We use expert services for those.
You good, Matthew?
Yes,
Motion.
sir. Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item number 2 is approved. Thank you, Selvin.
Thank you for showing us the bids on that too.
Yeah, thank you.
Item number 3 is approval of agreement with Volkert, Inc. for owner representation services for the Benjamin Barnes Y project. Total is $454,200. Brian, welcome.
Thank you. Yes, sir. This is a request, as you said, for Volker to be an owner representative for the Benjamin Barnes YMCA. The agreement would be for $454,200. So the Benjamin Barnes is it's an important project for the community, and it also has complexities with the amount of stakeholders that will be involved. We have the YMCA, we have interplay with para, we have the community, and all these folks, have expectations of what they want the project to be. So bringing on an owner representative will basically replace a city project manager, like, for a lot of projects, like somebody like myself would be the project manager. For a project like this, we're proposing to bring on Volker, who's an industry expert in delivering a project like this, a facility with multiple stakeholders that can create complexity. Volkert would serve to shepherd the project from the preliminary stages all the way through construction and keep monitor and management of the budget and the scope and the quality of the project. You know, to add to that, a lot of times projects can go awry in these preliminary stages where you get set on a 30% design and later somebody wants to come and add some component to the project, and now the budget, the schedule, and things are thrown off from the original projections. So that's that's the idea. It frees it also internally. You know, we don't have this capability necessarily for a complex, multifaceted, multi-stakeholder building facility project. You know, we're engineering, we're focused on delivering water, sewer, paving, drainage, infrastructure projects.
What are some other ways you've handled this in the past with other projects?
I'm not sure. The projects that come to mind are the fire station projects, but fire station projects, the stakeholders are us. We're the fire department. So
Yeah, and Mr. Crowe, if I may add, the city, except for that time briefly after the tornado in 2011, where we rebuilt the Curry facility, a couple of fire stations, most of our facility improvements have been very limited. And when we've had major projects like the plot treatment plant, at that time we employed CH2M Hill because of their technical expertise. They partnered in the project and helped us manage that project, along with the engineer that was McGifford, a local engineer that. So that that's one of the best examples, and certainly more recently with the Savin Center and the Event Center now. And through that process, we've realized that we can save a lot of money early on in the process. Also, as Brian alluded to, it means that, for example, we don't have to go and add to our construction management staff. Elevate is going to give us a large number of projects in a 5 to 7 year period. We don't want to add 3, 4, 5, 6 staff members. That's a 20+ year commitment. This arrangement gives us the short term, more resources, technical expertise with the backing of in this case, a regional company, and with proven results already with the Savin and the Event Center. That was our calculus. Certainly it's council's decision. If you don't want to, we will go the other way. We think this is the best long-term solution for the city. We will need to probably look at construction managers, though, hiring more at the city. That's going to be the direction, because we do have a large number of projects that are Elevate related that are coming in a very condensed time.
So Mr. Mayor, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, no, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I do want, you want to follow up and ask a question, that's fine, because I want to go a little different direction with him too.
So are we currently on a construction manager process rather than a GC general contractor?
You would still have a GC. This is not a construction manager.
Okay.
This is a project manager, which is really, I call it more on the front end of a CM, and I know that's probably not technically right. We have seen the benefits of this with the Savin and Event Center for us, because in those, when you get to that 30% design phase, even though you're not at the 50, 75, or 100, that's where your real costs are going to be built. That's where you're going to get those real heavy costs, or your ability to value engineer those costs earlier.
So will this 454,200, will that come out of the 9.5 million already left?
Yes.
Okay.
What,
Can I ask one little question? Brian, one thing I want to make sure I was clear on when we were talking today. Okay, this is, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, this is a $10 million project. The city borrowed $9.5 million, and I think 500,000. Is that the amount that from, I guess, is it $9.5 or $10 million project?
It's 10 total, 500 in cash, 9.5 in bond proceeds.
So this money will come out of
Right.
or it could be the cash basically put up.
It could be one or the other, depending upon whether we've exhausted that $500,000 on the Chambliss King contract, which is.
Okay. So, Brian, when we get, you hire, if you hire this firm to do this, they're gonna manage the process that happens for getting this project shovel-ready. Well, they'll be working with architects,
Yes,
be
they'll,
working with who, the city staff. So normally, I know we talked about, I'm trying to remember if like with the Savings Center and the Event Center, usually I thought engineering and construction design was about 10% of that. But how much, what is it gonna cost us to get that project shovel-ready, do you think?
in terms of
Including the
professional
500,000,
services.
yeah, the professional service to get it ready to build it.
So for an engineering project, I could tell you that it's gonna be, I would tell you 8% for design and 12% for CE&I. So 20% is what we do in our budgeting calculations. For this, I project the same thing. Jonathan may wanna weigh in on this. I'm not sure what the inspection percentages are on a typical facility by an architect, but I would project 20% for design services, 8% for design, 12% for services during construction inspection, and then this would be another 4.5%. So roughly 25% would go towards professional services.
So why can't, I mean, an architect can't do this and manage this for us, or is this, you feel like this
Yeah.
is the route you feel like we have to go?
I do. I feel like we need this layer of owner representation to guard the budget and the scope and the quality of the project and the schedule as we move through the entire process. You know, they will be immersed, they will be focused, they won't have to be worrying about, well, you know, we got 3 inches of rain last night, so somebody's got to figure out what to do about all this flooding. They won't be worried about water project. They'll be embedded in the project. That oversight, an architect, to shift to the architect component of that, I think an architect is going to be more focused on creating the design, delivering the design, delivering the contract documents for, you know, their component of the scope.
And I apologize for interrupting, Brian. Again, whatever the council feels is the best direction, we will make happen. But think about it this way. Look at the University of Alabama. They have a full department that deals nothing but construction of their facilities. And that's something they do day in, day out. The city builds a lot of infrastructure. We don't build a lot of buildings. So every day when the University of Alabama is working on their facilities, they hire project managers, contractors, and they even have a staff that's layered in to make certain that every dime is spent appropriately. Not just spent appropriately, that what's being designed won't be functionally obsolete by the time that it opens. Look at some of our activity centers that today it is easier to tear down after 20 or 30 years than it would be to renovate or add on. An architect's going to design what's in front of them, move on to the next project. The construction manager is going to make certain that what we're getting represents the owner's view now and 30 years from now. Now, the city could go a different route. The city could go and hire a construction management team for this slew of projects that we've got coming. That is going to cost you a lot more over 5 to 7 years. Now, this costs you more over 3 years. But over 5, 7, 8, because you know if you hire somebody at the city, after 1 year, they become, I call it tenure, but they become non-probationary. So if they stay, it's a job for life. And unlike a city employee, this person, in case this Jonathan in Boulder, he gets the resources of a national firm that does this every day, where a construction manager is not going to have access to all that type of information. Again, it's one of those things, as I told our team members, it's not a hill to die on. I think this is a better management tool. It's going to save us more money. We're going to end up getting a better product. It also gives us an opportunity to see, is this a pattern we want to continue instead of bolstering up our construction management staff. So I will leave it at that. And the experts who I rely on believe this was, and they convinced me, because I had the very same questions you had.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
So,
What-
yeah, I've got one.
And then, Raven, I want you to,
I-
and John to,
I know very
Wait.
little about this topic.
Let me start, before you start, let me,
What?
sorry to
Yeah.
I wanted to correct something I said earlier.
Oh, okay.
He corrected me that the architecture fees will be 6% is what we're
Okay.
expecting. So
All
I
right.
was erring too high. So sorry to
All right, so, again, I know very little about this topic. But I have received detailed written correspondence from several district members who do know it. And those, they weren't ranting, they weren't wildly waving, but they were asking what I thought were some very calm and prescient questions that had to do with the distinction between this package of owner representation services and that is encompassed by paid for and provided by the architect. And in general, I mean, in layman's terms, I think most of us expect that the architect designs a building for the customer, and the customer approves it and accepts it, and then the continuation of the architect services is to continually interact with the construction people to ensure that it gets built to the plan that was improved.
Right.
So do we have an architect on this?
We do not.
We don't?
Well, we have a visioning study completed by an architect.
We have a what?
Shameless Kings.
Yeah, basically a 5% programming exercise where they did the site selection. They were contracted for $27,500 to do the site selection.
Is an
component.
architect gonna design the building?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, and we
We
will
just don't
pay
have-
them for that, right?
We will.
And will that include owner representation services to continue all the way through completion, to coordinate with the construction company to ensure it's built to the plan we approve?
Yes.
Okay, all right, so that's where I'm having problems. I'm not gonna resolve it in this, I mean, we're already
Way late.
way behind, but I would like a week to
get
to
that
learn more.
distinguished, yeah.
And Raven, did you have something you wanted to ask?
I did, but now I have more questions since you made
Oh,
that
great.
statement. But okay, so first of all, we did work with Chamberlain in the beginning, and that was for the professional consulting fees, and that was an important part of the project because we needed to. This is very motivated by the feelings of the community and how they felt about this particular project and the location. So all of that was very much needed. We needed to vet all of those properties in that particular way. So I'm happy that we finally got through the first part of that process. But now that we're here, I do understand the concerns, but the way that it was explained to me is that this is a normal part of a project of this size was to spend maybe, what is this, about 20% of the budget?
So this component is 4.5%.
Or, huh?
Yeah, 4.5%.
4.5%,
Yeah.
okay. And so then after this, how much more are we gonna spend out of what's left on the architect and design?
6%.
6%,
So
okay.
Add on
As an
another
annual
600,000. So we're at $1 million.
Okay,
rough
for both
numbers.
parts, for Chambliss and this part of the project.
Yes,
And then
ma'am.
that leaves us about 8,
That'll leave us 9.
9.
Yeah.
9, okay, so now we're at 9.
But
To
I'm-
be shovel ready though, what is it gonna be? We talk about 8 million? Is that another million in other costs?
Right, like
Yeah.
7 million.
You have 8 million, if I remember correctly, you'll have 8 million for construction roughly.
Yep.
With this project. The thing that I would say that has, and I would ask Jonathan to correct me, but this is the owner's rep with the expertise to understand what they are looking at. If an architect comes in and lays out plans in front of our staff, we don't do vertical construction at the city. So how do we know, are we certain the HVAC units to the correct size? Is it too small? Is it too big? Is the roof line, does it need to have more of a degree? What type of degree should it be at? All those different things that none of us have the expertise to know is going to be their job to review, to make certain that we're squeezing every single ounce, and we're also building it for the future. There's a building, I won't say the name, in Mr. Tyner's district that we're working on now. Yeah, we had an architect and we did, I think we did a bid on that. And frankly, the day it opened, it wasn't what it needed or should have been. But, you know, again, those are things that, through this process, that this should help to eliminate.
Well, so we're at 8 million now with the budget. To be shovel
Yes.
ready, we will be. So I'll just say this, that this has been a conversation for the community, this particular project, for many years. The YMCA, the Benjamin Barnes YMCA was stuck with trying to raise money or match $1 million for many more years. And so now that we're here, I'm just ready to see some type of plans and what we can do for $8 million, if that's it. So basically, I'm saying I'm okay with it if this is going to give us the standard of excellence that we need in our community to have a facility that we desperately need for our youth. I'm okay. Let me see what 8 million can do. But I do understand the other questions here. But if this is customary, that this is what we would usually spend on the professional services side for a project like this, then I'm okay. And this is, once again, the YMCA is currently not in my district, so.
Yeah.
Well,
But do you have anything else, because I was gonna ask if, because I know we were in, I think it is obvious we've got a lot of questions on this.
I would
Questions
like
that
a
still
week,
aren't
and I
answered.
would like y'all to meet with my constituents who are asking the smart questions. And they coordinated with somebody, was it?
I talked to a John McClellan yesterday, is that who you heard from?
It is. It was one of them. The other one is all, they know this business. Would y'all meet with them,
Sure.
answer the questions? And I'd like to table it for 1 week, and I'll be fine
Yeah.
voting on it then.
A motion to table for 1 week.
I second it.
Second, any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion, item 3 is tabled for 1 week.
Yes, sir.
Item number 4, approval of change order number 2, construction contract with GFC for the Martin Luther King Jr. Jack Warner Parkway Improvement Phase 1 project, 90-day calendar extension. Brian?
Yes, sir. So this is due to our contractor being put behind by private utility relocations not meeting the schedule that we were given. So originally, the schedules projected that they would be complete in January of '22 with the relocations. This has taken the power poles that are in the middle of our road that, you know, we're widening Martin Luther King section, and those utilities are being converted to underground. And so taking those utilities, moving them underground, accommodating our widened roadway, they remained in the way, so that put our contractor behind from building out the road. So this is the reason behind the request for the 90-day time extension.
Mr. Chairman, if you recall, this was a $6 million added improvement to go to underground utilities. And based off discussions on economic development, that we felt like it would be more important to get those utilities underground. It is a request we made that put the contractor in this position. And it's certainly going to be a betterment for decades for the community.
Because the scope has changed a little bit, Mr. Mayor,
It
through
has
the whole
changed
process.
In a
So,
very good way
I don't-
considerably.
Yeah, Councilman Wilson. any
Yes, sir.
comments?
Brian, thank you so much. I'm glad that I had the opportunity to talk to you earlier. Earlier last week, and like I told you, many of my constituents they're very frustrated
Yes, sir.
about this project, and we want to see something get done. We want to see it get to completion
Yes, sir. We
as
do
soon
too.
as possible.
I've already acknowledged my ignorance on this whole topic, but I've worked with GFC twice, and they have pulled our dairy area out of the fire on University Boulevard and Bryant Drive. So I think I'm fine with this, and that's not a paid sponsorship, but I mean they were out there doing it when you remember we were trying to do University Boulevard before school started, and most of us were going, it can't be done. They did it.
Well, in GFC also, they had to, when you put your utilities underground, you're at the mercy of those utilities. That's one. And number two is that the supplies that are needed, materials that are needed are not as abundant as they were prior to 6-7 months ago. So again, we put them in a very difficult position for a very good reason, and it has caused the time delay, but for the next 30 years, what this will mean for West Tuscaloosa is gonna be phenomenal.
Any other questions on that?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5, approval to enter into minor public works contract with Moore Repair Services for repair of pump number 1 at Fletcher. Kimberly, 15,205. Welcome.
Hello. So this is just a pump repair with Mora, like you said, and this is at one of the secondary effluent pumps, which is part of the UB process at the plant, and this is funded in our operations budget, and it is $15,205.
Questions?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 6 is approval for a minor public works contract with Goforth Williamson for pump number 1 repair and motor replacement at lift station 31. Total is $16,250. Kimberly?
This one is also funded out of our operations budget. This is at the North River Yacht Club, and so this is for $16,250 for a repair at one of the lift
That is
stations
within
out there.
budget, you said, right?
Sir?
Within budget.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Motion.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7, approval to enter into minor public works contract with Shepherd Services for pump number 2 repair and motor replacement at lift station 52, 3966. Kimberly?
This one is at Magnolia Park off of Maxwell Loop Road, and this again is a pump repair, and it is also within our operations budget.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Opposed? Item number 7 is approved. Item number 8 is approval to enter into a minor public works contract with Moore Repair Services for repair of finished water pump number 5 at Jerry Plott Treatment Plant. Total is $14,290. Kimberly?
This is the same thing, but this is one of the finished pumps at the Jerry Plott plant that pushes water out to the system after it's been treated. And so this one is also budgeted in our operations budget for $14,290.
Any discussion?
Motion.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item is approved. Item number 9 is approval to enter into minor public works contract with Cone Cranes for repair of hoist at Fletcher Water Facility and lift stations, $34,522.60. Kimberly?
I don't know who's worse today, you or the alcohol license.
She's a busy
Get
lady.
a volume discount.
So we have our cranes
We know what
inspected at the
she's gonna say.
various facilities every year, and so this is some minor repairs to multiple cranes throughout the facilities. So this is, again, for different hoist repairs within the different facilities related to Fletcher lift stations also for $34,522.60, and this is also budgeted in our operations account.
Motion.
Second.
Motion moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item number 9 is approved. Item number 10, approval to enter into minor public works contract with John Plott Company, repair of 2 36-inch raw water lines at Ed Love, $11,740.82. Kimberly?
This is for repair of 2 of the 36-inch raw water valves that were in relationship to the Jack Warner Parkway slide, and these were 2 valves that when we were doing inspections to try to get prepared for this, that we found that weren't functioning, and so this was to repair those 2 valves. And it's also funded in Ed Love's operations budget.
Questions? Entertain motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item number 10 is approved. Item 11, approval of change order number 1 with Spencer Management for Fletcher Water Resource Recovery Facility Building Renovations. That's a lot to say. Project, $18,004.94 and 135 calendar days. Kimberly?
So this is for the renovations that were happening at Fletcher. We added some additional renovations in the restrooms and the locker rooms and the corridors related to this project. And so for the material and labor on this one, it's an additional $18,004.94. And that brings the contract total to $199,624.94. And then the additional work, we needed an extra 135 days, and that was due to some material delays, but then also additional construction timeframe.
And it's within budget.
Yes, sir, within the,
Okay.
yes.
So moved.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item 11 is approved. Item 12, there is a final substitution here, y'all, just a little bit different. I think it's the money wise on this is different. Authorization for minor public works contract with Shepherd Services, pump number 1 repair at lift station 45. The funding amount is $4,621.57. Kimberly.
All right, so this is one of the pump repairs at lift station 45, which is out at the airport on Industrial Park Drive. The substitute in here was we didn't have a quote back just yet when we were repairing everything, so we did finally get the repair quote back, and that is $4,621.57, and that is also budgeted in our operations account.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item number 12 is approved. Item number 13, approval to enter into minor public works contract with Shepherd Services, pump number 2 repair at lift station 39. Kimberly.
This is, lift station 39 is part of the Mercedes line, and so this is to repair one of the pumps out there, and it's for $14,684.77, and this is also budgeted in our operations account.
Any questions?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Item number 13 is approved. Item number 14, authorization for the Director of Arts and Entertainment to execute agreements related to one of our favorite events in the city, Holidays on the Plaza for 2022. Welcome, Kay.
Thank you. Good afternoon. So again, this is a request to authorize the Director of Arts and Entertainment the ability to execute agreements and related documents for the Holidays on the Plaza 2022 event.
Looking forward to it, Kay. So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Item 14 is approved. Item 15, approval of contract amendment with CityView Platform for rescoping of business license module. The total is $116,990. Carly, are you up? Or Jason? He's here.
I'll take the initial, and if you have any follow-up questions that are technology related, I'll let Mr. Foster handle those. The CityView platform is the technology platform that we have contracted with to do a lot of our public interactions as far as planning and development services. Initially, when we looked at the CityView platform, the business license renewal section of that was also activated. I think through a couple of review pieces, we held on that item and then eventually removed it from the original scope. We have done some re-review of why that was done, and we are here to put it back into the consideration for building out the platform to be able to have businesses do their business license renewals online only. That interaction can be done purely through this online platform. The budget total that you see on the screen is fully budgeted already. It was originally budgeted as such when we took out the original contract, and then once it fell away, we never rebudgeted or reprogrammed that funding, so it's ready to be used.
So you're taking some of the manual part out of this for people to go online and do this, right?
Taking like the in-person
In-person
required
rather than-
part, yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Or you can mail it in, because I think that's the way.
You can mail it in, so this one would be completely done online. You can get confirmation of payment immediately, things of that nature.
Why was it taken out, and what did we look at that decided to put it back in?
The former CFO did not want this as part of it and had concerns about proprietary information. The new CFO and her team, along with the city attorney's office, felt like there was no issue with proprietary information.
And thank you, Mayor, absolutely, and just to be able to speak to that, so that if any business owners are seeing that and have any concerns, that the CityView platform has certain security features that assuage any issues of proprietary information being moved into areas that it shouldn't be.
And what other functions does CityView provide for us?
I'm going to run that one over to Jason Foster, please.
I'll let Philip, he can answer that much better.
So the CityView platform will handle building permitting, all of the planning functions. The planning department currently does not have a system for intake of applications, forms, for customers on the outside to log in, look at where their application is. It nearly always takes a phone call or an email or a come down to City Hall in person. So this will automate all of that. Plus it will be a large repository of information that citizens can access. It's also going to be utilized for code enforcement. It will be used for special event permits and lakes permits.
So I'm not sure who this question, so 116 is the slice for the business license piece, is that correct?
That's
And
right.
what's the total pie? Is this 116 out of a million or 116 out of?
The initial
50?
budget was $1 million, I believe,
Yes,
and
sir.
I think we drawn down to 7.
I don't need the exact, it's about $1 million.
It was $1 million initially. I want to say we've drawn down to 714 or something like that.
Yeah, and we still have some production of the system to go. We just began testing of the building permitting portion of the system. So building permit folks are testing that right now.
So is this platform used in municipalities all over?
Yes, sir. They have over
So, I'm not
250
clear on
cities.
What's being built? Is it not simply a platform that's already built and refined and you just adjust the screws on the side for each city that you bring into?
That's partly true. A lot of it is pre-built, but it requires a lot of customization for each city. They've spent a lot of time talking with us and our staff and building that system to match what we do. If you think of a zoning ordinance, zoning ordinances are custom for every city in the nation. There's no two zoning ordinances the exact same, so all of that has to be put in. So,
All right. I don't have any other questions.
No, sir.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item number 15 is approved. Is there any other business to be brought before our committee today? Our next Public Projects Committee meeting will be next Tuesday, August the 30th. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.